What is up, guys? Welcome back to the Fat Man Gaming Podcast, the first episode of 2026. Um, we had an episode last week. Apparently, some shenanigans ensued, and we got it removed. Uh, so that's that. We are in the process of seeing if we can fight to get it back, but so far, no go. Guess that's what happens when you make fun of Potato Head. Um, but anyways, welcome back, Nathan. As always, my co-host. I am the Fat Man here at the Fat Man Gaming, and man, time to reflect on 2025. Man, honestly, kind of a bummer ride.
Yeah.
Great for
Yeah.
gaming though.
Oh, excellent year for gaming. I mean, great that we had a lot of good distractions in the meantime of things going crazy in every direction. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. So in this episode, me and Nathan talked about how what we wanted to do. So being that this is the first episode of 2026, we wanted to reflect on 2025 as far as gaming went. Um, our game of the year for last year, we already all obviously we went over, but we're gonna go for our top games of last year and what we had fun playing with and all that, and then obviously talk about some other stuff. But yeah, dude. No real big news this week as far as gaming goes. A
Yeah.
lot of little things. I'd say probably one of the biggest things to come out this week is that the RAM shortage might be falsified and it may not be as bad as it is. It may be caused due to corporate greed, which go figure, right?
Figure. Hilarious. It's almost like
Um
you. Never mind. Yep. Nope. That's annoying.
Yeah. So, yeah, it looks like Nvidia and a couple of other the big manufacturers might be incorporating Nintendo's old trick of the blue ocean effect, meaning make supply seem like it's dim and in bad in order to make it good by people buying more. Which
Yeah.
makes no sense at all, but Nintendo did it for years, most notably for the Wii. They had the supply, but they were holding a lot of them back to make a false demand for it, which hey, it worked. Um, it took me 6 months to get a Wii. Um, but yeah,
Supply and demand, and unfortunately, they can use that to their advantage if they want to.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, seems like there might be some shenanigans going on in the world
Was
of
it like the NVIDIA 5090 is going to be like $5,000
yeah.
in the market? I'm like, oh, going from like 2,000 to 5,000. I'm like, all right. I
It
mean, I'm not, yeah, no,
it makes
that's insane. But
it makes console gaming almost seem like a no-brainer when you're able to spend $5,000 for one piece of equipment for your PC. That doesn't include the motherboard, that doesn't include the processing chip, it doesn't include the case, the cooler, and all that stuff unless you're getting a pre-built.
you can get a used PS5 for under a $500 at this point. If you're really that against console gaming, I think you just like spending money in places where it doesn't matter.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
mean, like, oh, I want to play Devil May Cry 4 at 240 frames a second. Okay, cool. I'm just trying to play at 60. I don't know what to tell you.
But yeah, I don't know. Really, just seems like there's being a falsified demand for everything, and yeah, it's kind of getting on everybody's nerves, especially with the way that everything is being priced right now. Console gaming even going up. Yeah, it just seems to be a bad time to be a gamer. But PC gamers, you guys suck anyways, nerds.
I mean,
Um,
I have a whole thing I eventually want to do about how I do genuinely think that a lot of the problems that we face in the gaming industry as a whole can be related to PC player, well, PC gaming, not necessarily the players, but I will say spending a couple $1,000s on a PC rig only to then wait for Steam to give you games practically for free before you actually even buy them is a
mhm.
little it sounds like it's just definitely like more feeding like, oh, I want to build a fancy rig and play Legos than actually play the games. And it's like, yeah.
the thing that I think we could look
That's
forward
just
to,
me.
the thing I think we can look forward to the most is like I don't understand how the subscription services are going to work anymore. So PlayStation Plus, Xbox Game Pass, because with Xbox being rumored to have Steam on the next box and PlayStation, I think there's even a rumor that PlayStation might have Steam on the PS6. If this is true, then PlayStation again, like we had said before about Xbox, why even make a SKU for the consoles if you can just put them on Steam and they'll be there anyways, cutting the two main corporations out. Um,
Yeah.
the other thing too that I've been wondering about is online gaming. So for PlayStation Plus and Game Pass, you have to pay to play online. PC, you don't. So how's that gonna work? And at this point, should online play just be free anyways? Because at this point, I think it should be. I think it should go back to the early PS3 and Xbox 360 era where it was free. But there's so many questions, man, going into the future. 2026 is going to be interesting, specifically for gaming as well.
Well, yeah, no, trust me, I get that. I got a lot of concerns, but I guess we'll figure it out as we go along, right?
Oh yeah. So, real quick, how was your Christmas? And did you get anything cool?
It was pretty good. Not re- I mean, not not really. Christmas was a kind of just low key. This year, I went to my dad's place, hung out with my sister and her husband, and so it was just the five of us, my dad and my stepmother, and then just went home and chilled for the rest of the night after that.
Nice.
It was
Oh
it was
yeah.
pretty low key and yeah, nothing really crazy.
So for Chris,
I'm also just broke as a joke and uh so like I was like, okay, I can't really do anything this year, so I guess yeah. Well, welcome to it. I think that's
so
everybody right now. So
yeah, pretty much. So for Christmas was the same for me, pretty mellow, just hung out with the family and all that. But the fiance did get me this guy. So this is the Woodger Vest 4. This is like the new one. Been messing with it for a little bit this last couple of days. Played some Resident Evil with it, and yeah, this thing's pretty badass, man. Not gonna lie. Um, got haptic feedback in the controller, haptic feedback on the body now, and looking pretty cool. That this thing's pretty badass. Um, so that was my highlight for Christmas. Uh,
nice.
so been playing with that, trying to figure out how to hook it up to the Switch. That's been a battle in itself. It doesn't necessarily like the Switch all too well. Um, the only thing that I don't like about it is that it's very convoluted. So you have to have two audio jacks, one going into said unit and one going into this guy. So it's kind of annoying in that sense. So you can never be free of it. You have to have your headphones on for any console that you're using. Um, Same thing with movies and TVs, which it's advertised as being able to watch movies with it, but good luck with that. You have to be wired in. So kind of a disappointment as far as that goes. Hopefully later on the next models they're a little bit better. But yeah, for VR, this thing is excellent, which is what I've been using it on. Literally felt the chainsaw in Resident Evil 4 rip through me. So that was kind of it brought it to a whole new level. But yeah, Christmas was awesome. You can see the logo back here, guys. Check that out. Got it on the 86-inch back there. Um, but yeah, let's get right into it, dude. So I think we said what? Did we say 5 games for 2025?
Um, I didn't think I don't think I remember like us specifying like the five games because like I remember just like we were going to talk about games from like that we played last year in general, but
Oh,
I could
okay.
probably make. I mean,
No, it's cool.
I
We'll do
played a
that.
lot last year. Played a
Yeah.
lot last year, and not just 400 hours of Night Rain,
Yeah.
but I'll start off with the first game I played in the year, which was the um Ys Oath of Felghana port, I guess, to modern consoles. It's I think it was Was it East 3? One it was the East 3 remake. That they did back in like I think it was like 2005 or something like that. Um I think it was originally PC, and then they ported it to PSP, and then they re-released it on PS5 in January. And yeah, it was a nice little short 12-hour game. I spent 12 hours on it. It was a fun East game. It's not my favorite of the East games, but like it was from that kind of different era of East, like where it was very much like fast paced, like Legend of Zelda ish. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they're really good games. I really do enjoy them. 8 was fantastic. 9 was pretty good. I like 10, but it definitely feels like a little vanilla-ish. You know what I mean? It's a little. It's like a. I don't know. It felt like good base game. All right. I don't know. It was a strange feeling. Like I loved how crazy huge and like open 8 was. 9 felt like really good and like but like in a different way than 10. Just kind of felt like they really improved animations in the combat, but like the world exploration kind of felt a little bit not as much there. I could be wrong though.
Yeah.
I kind of played these games kind of straight, and I kind of just like straight through, and like I noticed things along the way, but nothing crazy. But yeah, that was the first game I played in January of this last year,
Nice.
or that I
Um,
finished. It might have released in December. I could be wrong though,
yeah.
but I finished it January. So
Um, I'm going through my list and trying to find out like what did I start with? Oh man, I don't remember. My list is all wrong. But yeah, so trying to think. Um, um, all right. Nothing wants to load up today.
good. Actually, let's see. I replayed a couple of games that I'll just like briefly mention. I did a replay of Metal Gear Solid 5 for some reason.
Nice.
And then I also did a replay of Elden Ring for again some reason. I think it was because maybe looking forward to Night Rain later in the year. I don't know. I forgot exactly why I played through it again, but yeah, that was the for a while actually the first the only really like replay I did of any game until a little bit later.
Yeah. Man, I don't even remember 2025 already. I'm so done and over with it. It's just, yeah.
No, if it weren't for the fact that I have like all I write down whenever I finish these games and I have them segmented in my brain, I would actually forget like that I experienced half this crap and when. I could have sworn I played Tales of Berseria earlier, like last year, but I didn't. It was 2024. So
Yeah. Well, I know the game I spent the most time with last year, believe it or not, was Pokemon Legends ZA. Pokemon Legends ZA was it was the one that was supposed to be bad. Um, I really liked it though. I didn't get all the hate that it got. Yes, it was ugly. Yes, it was copy and paste on a lot of the buildings. But an overall like adventure and even the story and even now the DLC, it's a pretty good game. I think people need to relax. They just have to sit and enjoy what they got. Because we did get a good Pokemon game. And another thing is too that when you have Game Freak that's making a game that looks like this samurai game that's coming out, and then you have to question yourself why Pokemon still looks like it belongs on the original DS. I get that argument. But yeah, I mean, do we really want a hyper realistic Pokemon? Do we really want Detective Pikachu style Pokemon? I mean, I
that's the
don't.
thing. It's like it has to be like cartoony enough, but I also feel like it's like, dude, you can do just like straight up like more like detailed anime look with like a modern time like you can go like Tales of Arise kind of like more like 3D anime kind of look with it.
Yeah.
I almost feel like that's kind of the limit there in terms of like I don't want to say limit, but in terms of like, we have a version of anime as hell art style done in a relatively decently detailed 3D that is significantly better than what's going on here. And I know for a fact that Bandai Namco doesn't have that much money to allocate to the Tales of franchise in comparison to Pokemon. So I don't know.
I I mean
The Switch.
the only thing that I want out of Pokemon is just let them say their damn names, please. I'm so tired of the Pokemon noises. Like, how hard is it to get Charmander to say Charmander? And even in ZA, I noticed that Pikachu doesn't say Pikachu anymore. It just makes the little electric sound. And Pikachu was the one that they always let say its name. So that's kind of annoying. But yeah, just let the Pokemon say their name. How hard is it? Um, but yeah, I spent a lot of time with ZA. What else? The second game that obviously the game that I spent the second most time was Expedition 33, and which was my game of the year. Um, Again, I say it all the time, but the game has just ruined gaming for me. I I've yet to play anything for more than a few hours that's just even as satisfying. Like right now, I'm forcing myself to go through Resident Evil, and I'm excited for 9, and I hope 9 hits because right now replaying them, like I just man, I'm just constantly thinking about Expedition 33. And there's been a few moments there where I'm almost at the point where I think I'm ready to retire from gaming. Um, in a sense to where, and it's so weird because it's like, I don't know if I'm ever going to play a game that's as good as Expedition 33 again, unless they make a sequel. But we all know how that goes. Generally, they tend to mess them up. Um, and I know that this is going to be the year too that the third Final Fantasy chapter, Final Fantasy 7 Part 3, gets announced. This is going to be the year, I know it. And maybe releases this fall, more than likely early next year. Um, if timeline goes correct, it should be about February next year. Um, is what I'm estimating. But even as the major Final Fantasy VII fan, I mean major Final Fantasy VII fan, I just not even. I don't know. It feels like all of my gaming has just been ripped out of me by one game, and it's French, which hurts me even more. Just kidding. I love the French. Um, but
Theory, I'm joking.
yeah, it just
In theory, I love the French.
yeah. Well,
I'm joking. I'm joking.
let's just say the French wouldn't be here if it wasn't for us. Um, but yeah, I mean, it's just so crazy, and then the whole controversy with them using AI is so dumb. But yeah, I mean. Just those two games alone.
Especially like to the extent they used it, I'm like that is like the most petty use of AI. It's like, oh,
One phone pole.
it's like okay, like let's just put it as like okay, as a placeholder background art that accidentally got left in. Okay, I accept that. I don't know what to tell you. Like, if we're really gonna be like, no, every single texture needs to be like, I don't know, handmade. I'm like, do you understand how much like weight programming pulls in terms of that? Like, we're not all just hand painting this shit anymore. Like, we're
Yeah.
taking reference photos. Like, you want to be like, oh, you can't use real life either. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like at some point it's like, do we really care about textures or do we care about the other things such as the overall art style, the music, the story, the voice acting? I care more about the fact that the new Bleach game has AI voice acting more than the background AI artwork in Expedition 33. Boo
Right.
hoo. I'd rather like, hey, focus on making sure that the voice acting is not AI. Okay, that's when it's like, okay, this is annoying. But if it's like a writing tool or something like that to bounce ideas off of and like kind of placeholder stuff, like dude, that's whatever. Who
Yeah.
cares?
The other thing too, yeah. No, you made it. Yeah, you pretty much did it all. Um,
It's just like it's one of those things where it's like, okay, I don't like the fact that I don't like it being used either. again, musician here. I you know, I'm very much like, don't use it as a final product, or like, if like the AI comes with something, you better put some twist on it to make it your own. Otherwise, I don't really count it, because if you just hear something and you're like, oh, I can take that and then maybe like twist it around a little bit, congratulations, you made something original, and like off of something that wasn't. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it yeah. And then it's annoying. I don't like the idea of using AI, but there's also the honest way where it's like, okay, like background texture more ethical than replacing voice actors. If we can't
Right.
agree on that, then we're just not we cannot have a meaningful argument at this point.
So what was the next game for you, Nathan?
So I had a couple.
I'll be right back. Just gonna grab
Let's see. I'll talk about let's see. I played a lot of Armored Core.
something.
Like a lot of Armored Core. I played Armored Core 2. I finally finished that after, I think, 2 years. I don't know. I played. I
Nice.
think I played Armored Core 2 for a minute, and then I put it down because the one of the missions I was just stuck on for like 5 6 hours, and like 2 or 3 of those was about 2 years ago.
Right.
And then I picked it up, and then I spent like another hour or two on that one mission, and then finally got past it and was able to finish Armored Core 2. Then I moved on to Another Age. Then I replayed once. I replayed 6 once in March,
Nice.
and then I replayed it again later in November. But we'll get back to that later. I also
It's
replayed. I also replayed Armored Core 1 like twice this last year too. Once again in March, and then another time in November.
heck yeah.
It's a really fun replayable game. What can I say?
Yeah.
Uh, but like then I played a lot. Then I also went through the PS1 Armored Core games, then Armored Core 3, Silent Line Portable. I basically like caught up with a bunch of the Armored Core games to say I've played over half the series at this point. But
If
so I can now have contentious opinions on the series. Okay.
oh yeah. If I keep yawning, guys, it's only because we are recording very late. I had some stuff done before rearranging my setup. Obviously, you can see I'm no longer in the same
Is there
area.
a ghost in front of me at this point? What the hell? What is the camera focusing on? Sorry.
Oh,
This is I don't know.
but yeah, yeah.
Um, and then
2020, 2025 was wild though, dude.
yeah. Then actually, so back in February, I played through Silent Hill 2, the remake,
Oh, nice.
and I liked it a lot. I thought it was fun.
I thought
I
it was pretty good. Well, now keep in mind, this was my first Silent Hill game. So my first Silent Hill game, my first introductory into Silent Hill was with the 2 remake. So,
Yeah. Well, no, same. Like, I still want to go back and like play through even the original 2 if I can like figure out a way to play that. Uh, and
emulation.
then yeah, no, I'm sorry. After I bought Rule of Rose, I'm like, this is the last hyper expensive PlayStation 2 game or PlayStation 1 game I'm getting, unless I'm getting like the PlayStation 1 Armored Core games. I don't care after that. I
Is
really
it
don't.
is it not on PlayStation back catalog? I feel like it is. I think 1
On
and 2 are
PlayStation, on PS Plus?
yeah, I feel like they're
No.
in the back catalog. 1 and 2 were.
Nope.
Oh.
Nope. No, they can't get the emulation technically up and running at Konami, but Lord knows some
Oh.
internet nerd definitely figured that out. God
Oh
bless.
yeah.
But so no, I played the Silent Hill 2 remake, and I enjoyed the hell out of that. That I felt like maybe it was a little long, or the box puzzle really stumped me, and I was just there for way too long. But
I'll tell you what
maybe
though.
that's maybe that's just me being scared for too long. Oh, but
I'll tell you, yeah,
it's
Pyramid
it's
Head scared the
fantastic
shit
though.
out of me.
No, and I wound up having a lot of fun with the combat too by the end of it. I got a nice flow towards the end. Like when I was in the
Yeah.
final, when I was in the final fight, I'm like, oh yeah, hell yeah, I'm having actually fun with this combat. Like it's one of those things where you have to get adjusted to it. It's not like the most like fluid combat. You're not playing with like action game combat or like whatever. You're playing with horror game combat, but it's fluid enough to where I was able to get into a groove by the end of it. And that final fight was not really much. I think I died once. Wah. Okay, and then I beat it pretty quickly again afterwards. It was pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2025 brought us a lot of really cool things too. Mainly one of this one that I am now having fun with. 2025 was the launch of the Nintendo Switch 2. I've now have mine since launch. And this little console, she's dirty though. Clean that screen. This little console is pretty awesome now. At first, I'm gonna be the first one to tell you it didn't earn its weight yet. And so we got these cool little guys right here, the magnetic Joy-Cons, and listen to see if it can pick the sound up, guys, because this is my favorite thing about it. Listen to this. I don't know if that came through or not, but I love
I did.
this.
Yes.
I love the magnets. Um,
No,
the
for
screen,
sure. I imagine those are definitely better than the rails.
oh yeah, for sure. Um, but yeah, I mean, the screen is nice. The layout is boring. They need to do something with the OS because it's boring. Um,
I think that's maybe Nintendo's insistence on like kind of essentially still treating this as a toy rather than a full blown console or PC. It still has to have like that kind of like, I don't want to say child friendly kind of feel to it, but like at the
yeah.
same time, like Nintendo is catering to all ages. And in order to cater to all ages, you maybe have to simplify it a little bit for the youngins.
The other thing,
You're not playing COD on Switch too, so it's fine. You can make the a little bit more kiddish, I guess.
the only thing I do as far as that goes, well, Call of Duty is coming to the Switch. It's been confirmed.
Really?
So
Oh
yeah,
shit.
but
I'll leave my words then.
yeah, it is coming to the Switch, and you damn well know I will be on there, and I will be making them kids cry like I do on Fortnite.
It'll be Modern Warfare 2 lobbies all over
Oh
again.
yeah. But the thing is too about the Switch is that it needs. I get it, but Nintendo is prioritizing the fact that this thing is also a mobile device. So the one thing that irks my nerves about it the most is that still no YouTube, still no Netflix, still no Hulu. They don't none of like the apps. It's like
That one's
if
no longer.
yeah, I mean, but if you're out and you have this thing and you're in like say like a heaven forbid you're at a Starbucks or any kind of place that has Wi-Fi, and you're like, man, let me drop on YouTube real quick. I mean, granted, yes, you do have the world's smartest computer in your freaking pocket at all times.
I
Um,
I am I the only one who's like kind of the douche where I'm like, look, if you have a Switch on you, you probably have a phone too, and Lord
yeah,
knows you'd like if you're an ADHD, adult, riddled adult like I am, you're listening to YouTube videos while playing a JRPG. Okay,
pretty
understand?
much, pretty much,
So
yeah.
like, unfortunately, I'm like, look, I can like I will say maybe like if it's one of those things where I'm like, I can't really be mad at the decision not to have it on there because I'm like, you don't fucking need it. You literally have a computer in your phone. The reason you have a console is to play the game, so play the god darn game. But at the same time, it is nice and convenient to have a thing where it's like, okay, it can pull up YouTube. The fucking 3DS could. So,
Well, the other thing too is like a lot of. I know the majority is small, but a vast, like a nice majority of the people who own a Switch 2, that's their only console. And it would be nice to have it docked at home and be like, oh shit, I can watch YouTube on this thing. Granted, everybody should have a smart TV by now, or by other access
yeah,
to stuff like that.
actually
But
I will say I forget like smart TVs like they have YouTube built into them, and if
yeah,
anything, YouTube actually runs better. No, actually, streaming apps like Crunchyroll actually run better on your TV than it does in your PS5 going through your TV. It's
that's true.
annoying. It's so strange to be like my TV can run this better. That's crazy.
I'm just saying though,
The
like,
dirt cup processors.
I'm just saying that it would be convenient for a lot of people if those were accessible.
Oh, for sure.
But yeah, but I mean, 2025 brought us the Switch 2, and the Switch 2, it's an amazing device. At
I
first,
will.
like I said, I wanted to hate it, but
Yeah.
I just have recently fallen in love with it. I have Metroid that I've been going through, and uh, I'm gonna be playing Final Fantasy VII Remake on it once it releases. Um, and so, for some morbid reason, something's telling me to play Resident Evil 9 on it, but it'll be a second playthrough, not the first playthrough.
Yeah, no, that has to be on like the way I always treat a horror game is like your the first playthrough. That is the one that's like, okay, scare me right now. This is the playthrough to scare the shit out of me.
Yep,
Every other playthrough after that, it is a arcade experience. I'm doing one thing leading to the next. I'm getting things done ASAP, and I'm not even trying to get scared by anything anymore because I just know I know they're coming.
Well, for Resident Evil 9, the other thing I would like it to be on is this guy right here. So if they do a version of it for PSVR 2, that'll be the tits because I'm a
Hell yeah,
big supporter of the PSVR 2. I mean,
nice.
look how cool these controllers are. Look at this. These are awesome. Um,
Hell yeah.
but yeah, but yeah, some morbid part of me is wanting to play Resident Evil 9 on the Switch too, so we'll see. Looks like I'll be double dipping. Honestly,
Actually,
I already did double dip because I bought the collector's edition that comes with 7, 8, and 9 with
that's
the
crazy.
amiibo
Actually,
and the controller. So,
fuck yeah, hell yeah.
oh,
Uh, Actually, speaking of Resident Evil, I did actually play a couple Resident Evil games last year. I played
hell
the
yeah.
original Resident Evil Director's Cut, like
Nice.
PlayStation 1 version on PS5, as well as Leon A. Claire B. Resident Evil 2 playthrough.
Nice.
7 hours for the Resident Evil 1, and then 11 hours for Resi 2, I think.
Nice.
9 hours. Never mind. That Metal Gear Solid Delta was 11. I'm just looking at a list. But dude, I really enjoyed those two games. Those were very fun. I didn't think actually like I would get used to tank controls that quickly, but like I think my brain kind of like just it makes a lot of sense in that kind of style of gameplay. Like a lot of people complain about like the Kingsfield controls if you like try to play that, but if you
Oh
actually just
God,
think
yeah.
about it, but if you think about it in terms of like the control layout, it makes a moderate amount of sense, especially if you're coming from a first person dungeon crawler RPG kind of experience like point of view. I can get used to Kingsfield's controls. When you try to put that in Armored Core, that's stupid. But like that's because it's a third person action game rather than a more or less slow pace first person RPG. But
Yeah.
yeah. Um so I wound up getting used to the 10 controls pretty quickly. I will say the rewind
Mm.
feature on the PS5 is a very goated thing. I very much appreciate that for some of these horror games because I do not want to have to deal with load times.
Yes.
I have shit to do, okay? I have a job. I'm trying to do things for fun, but also work.
It's
Uh,
it's um it's so funny because obviously, I played through Resident Evil 1, 2, and 3 as well in 2025. It's funny that we're talking about going back to playing games that didn't come out in 2025 because the one that I do play once a year, I started back in February. I streamed this game too. It's a PS4 game. I play it once a year because it's so near and dear to my heart. Underloved, underrated. I get its faults, but The Order 1886. I play it once a year, usually around February. So this year it might get delayed a little bit. But I absolutely love that game, man. It was a launch title for the PS4. 6 to 8 hours, depending on how you play with it. Gears of War, like incredible story involving the Knights of the Round Table, vampires, werewolves. Basically like Knights of the Round Table meets Van Helsing. Uh, Very underrated game. It's so great. Definitely it was definitely short. I get its faults there. Combat was excellent, but almost not enough of it. You really had to draw it out to get your full experience out of it. But man, I loaded it up and it looks like it belongs on PS5. It's just so beautiful looking still, even to this day. It was at the very beginning of the PS4, pushing it to the max. And honestly, nothing besides The Last of Us looks that good on PS4 today. It's The
so,
Order and The Last of Us.
so quick question. Like, so like from what I hear, like everyone just complained about the fact that it was like really short.
It was really short.
Was
People didn't like some of the gameplay aspects of it because there wasn't enough of it. I don't know what they're talking about because combat was excellent. It was
I
a
mean, like,
good
dude, I played
mixture.
through. Yeah, I played through Gears of War Reloaded with a buddy of mine, and that took about 6 hours. Like these are the kinds of games where like the campaign is just fun to play through. It's like very focused
Have
shooter
you
design.
have you ever
I
played
don't
The
know.
Order?
No,
You would
not
definitely
much of a
like it.
shooter guy, but
You would
like
like it.
I really liked the Gears of War Reloaded remastered I played through earlier this year, like late this last year too.
Yeah,
That was really good.
It's a definite alternate. It's a alternate history thing that reflects on, real legends. One of my favorite parts about it, spoilers, guys. Come on now, 2013 game. Um, One of the best things about it is that it has a lot of a certain character that I love even in real life because he was so mysterious. A lot of things that he invented somehow managed to, or well, allegedly invented, even though it's all written down and there's factual evidence for it. Um, a la Wi-Fi. We wouldn't have Wi-Fi without this man. But the game has Nikola Tesla in it, and he does help out the main character inventing weapons and stuff like that. And they use real references to actual inventions that he did have via the Tesla coil and stuff like that. Um, but yeah, that was one of my favorite parts of the games is that he's a NPC that helps you out and such a fascinating character on top of it being about the Knights of the Round Table and yeah, I mean, it's an incredible game, dude. I absolutely love it. If none of you have played it, you definitely should go. Um, if any PlayStation franchise deserves a sequel or a remake, it's this because I think if it's done proper, it's an excellent game, especially with the story and all that. And
No, because like
it left on such a terrible cliffhanger. Like it left you wanting more.
okay, that's probably why maybe like people got burned by the ending because I'm like, why do people like not like this? And like,
Yeah.
because everyone was like, oh, this was not like, yeah. Let's
And
see.
in defense of the game was it was made by Ready at Dawn. Ready at Dawn was best known for making PSP games. So when a developer is most notable for making games on a platform that's smaller, that requires smaller titles, and then they move up to a bigger platform that demands longer titles, you got to cut them a little bit of a break. And the unfortunate story of Ready at Dawn is just kind of sad too. They are gone now, but yeah, they were PlayStation Studio. PlayStation let them go, or I don't think they ever had them. Ready at Dawn was then bought by Meta. Meta used them for a couple VR games and then disbanded them, and that's the end of that. But it's sad though because the game is excellent, man. It's one of the things that I hold so dear to my heart because I love it so much. For a while there, I was on Twitter just annually demanding a sequel or a remaster, but alas, PlayStation did not hear my calls. Um,
I mean, like, no, I sometimes like you appreciate like a just relatively short game where it's like it's all about a very detailed experience and like whether or not it actually moves you in that way.
yeah,
Hellblade: Cinema Sacrifice was a great one that I played through years ago. Like when it came out initially, that was a great playthrough. Haven't played through it again. I bought it twice because it was originally a digital download and then they did a physical version at
the
some
first
point later.
the first one
So
was
yeah, no,
excellent.
I loved it. It was great.
Yeah, the first one was excellent. The second one I had a hard time getting through, but
I played through a decent. I wouldn't say a decent chunk. I played through like 2 hours of it, which to be fair is a decent chunk if the game is only like 10 hours. So,
yeah,
but I played through about 2 hours of it at a friend of mine's place, and
nice.
it's pretty good. It was I think maybe it's just because I need to see what the I always try to see what the game is going for because like you try to judge a game based off your own expectations, it's gonna piss you off because that's why we'll talk about Star Ocean until the end of time towards the end of this, and when we go to the games we're playing, because I want to talk about that one. But sometimes going into games with a preset expectation will be your own like biggest enemy if the game tries to pull anything funny. Which the whole point of playing a game, especially if it's like a sequel, is you're getting playing something funny. You might get a this whole thing's a simulation plot twist. I mean, I will talk. Yeah, yeah, no, we'll talk about that in a second. But yeah, I get it.
Yeah. The other thing that I played this year was Donkey Kong Bonanza, and what a turd. Um, I love Donkey Kong, but Donkey Kong Bonanza at first started and seemed like it was going to be promising. They promised it was the same team that did Mario Odyssey. Uh, this game was not good. It started out okay, and then it dragged its feet, and then finally it just dragged your face through a mountain like Broly smashing on Goku. Um, it halfway through it, I'm kind of like, I was like, that's it. I just got to get through it. So I was just smashing through levels, no pun intended for the game, but literally just forcing myself to get through it until the end with the most lackluster final boss fight ever. And at that point, I just tossed it to the side and never want to look at it again. Um, but yeah, what a turd. Sorry, Nintendo, but try again next time. Give us Diddy Kong Racing. Make a new Diddy Kong Racing because Mario Kart sucked too.
I'm not okay. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna say something spicy here. Maybe hopefully Nintendo doesn't take us down for bullying, but unfortunately, I have to say this: Nintendo Magic never existed. That was just the magical thing of they were doing the things that were your favorite things back in the day. Nintendo has always been basically like we're gonna like give you a very fun product, but at the same time we're gonna push the hell out of it to make it think it was your idea. Uh,
Uh-huh.
and they really try. I think Donkey Kong Bonanza is the perfect example of this because that goddamn game got nominated for Game of the Year award, and it was made by basically the same people who did Mario Odyssey, but it looked also like basically just Mario Odyssey, but you're playing as a monkey instead. Um, that's just from me looking at it. But however, like that, I feel like Nintendo is kind of starting to lose a decent chunk of their audience, especially with like a lot of the business shit that's been going on with them recently. Because like $450 console. I don't mind that, but however, that's because I understand game prices over the last 20, 30 years because you look at history and you're like, oh, we're actually in a time where games are not that expensive in comparison. $400 consoles were things in the 90s. Let's not pretend. Uh, it's
No, yeah.
anyway. Um, so like a lot of stuff that Nintendo is doing right now, like with like all the lawsuits, the $80 games that are digital downloads, essentially with a fancy piece of plastic pretending that you have the game on there. That kind of stuff is the kind of thing I have a hard time defending, just because that is so. I mean, it's anti-consumer. It's not actually adding value to the product that you're buying in terms of the actual physical game. If you are buying a game, you're wanting to buy a game. You are not wanting to basically buy a little license. It worked with PC players because they didn't mind, and also most of them went away from disk drives in the first place. Like, like I don't know, man. It's one of those things where I don't know. It's misreading the console market because PC audience, I can understand why they wouldn't really care about making having all their games on discs. I can understand that because they're cycling through like hard drives like left and right. I get it, but consoles are haven't don't operate like that. It's very much like a different kind of gaming culture over there. If you try to do PC related stuff over in the gaming console, you're going to have a hard time, such as the microtransactions in Star Wars Battlefront 2. That was a FIFA Ultimate Team thing, as well as like a product of the free to play model that came about in the late 90s. So, and notice how that didn't come to consoles until around 2005. This is what I mean. It's sorry,
Another
it
No, you're
long,
good.
long, long. It's just bottom line. Nintendo Magic is no longer there because now we kind of see what's going on in terms of the I don't want to say gaslighting because like who the hell like was really like I mean like I there were people who were like, yeah, Donkey Kong Bananas, it was a great game. I don't think it ever I didn't maybe it's because I don't really talk to people who play Nintendo Switch 2, or I don't really watch like too many reviews on that regard. I didn't know if like there was a general consensus that oh yeah, it's good. But like to be like okay, like to be pushed as like a game of the year contender at the Game Awards, like really,
Yeah, I don't think
really.
it was deserving of that. There was a couple of the games
It
that
it
could have
just
been on there.
and then notice how also they got a singer to be on stage for that too. I that almost feels like, dude, I smell like they were paid to do that. That's
Uh-huh.
just me being that's me being a douchebag, and that's the only time I'll I'll bring that up. But
The
I think that there's a little bit of Nintendo is like trying to basically still try to push Nintendo Magic. It's just weird. We're kind of not we're not liking what we're sniffing right now. You know what I mean?
right. The
We
other thing
recognize it's like that smell. It's not a smelly smell. That's
the other thing that we
stupid.
both spent some time with in 2025 was the Death Stranding 2 game.
Yes,
Um,
sir.
Death Stranding 2, rightfully so, belonged in the
Ooh,
Game of the Year category for sure.
I agree. I agree.
Excellent
It was
game,
fantastic.
definitely better than the first one. Great story.
Nice
Uh,
mirror of the first one.
yeah, incredible voice acting. I mean, Chef Norman Reedus, Troy Baker. I forget the other. Sorry, guys. Um, but yeah, no, it was an excellent game. I wanted to hate it. Unfortunately, I did end up loving it in the end. Except for the last battle was kind of it was out there, but enjoyable.
I love it because it's just the overall message of the game is essentially like a lot of this whole AI discussion. Actually, a lot of these people who are like complaining about the AI should play Death Stranding too. Maybe they can get a good perspective on the whole thing. Because and let's not get into it because it's spoilers for Death Stranding 2. But
Yeah,
I really enjoyed the hell out of Death
it
Stranding
was
2.
a
And that
it,
fight, yeah, that's the final fight. I love it. It's peak Kojima and him being like, "I'm unabashedly me. You can take me at this if you want or not. I don't care. I'm gonna do my thing anyway." And I love it. It's peak Kojima at the very end of the game that felt a little too felt like the first game. That was intentional though, but
as Renoir would
yeah.
say, absolute cinema. Um,
Oh, dude, I love Death Stranding too. Obviously, Expedition 33, kind of takes it for other reasons, but
yeah.
otherwise, I'd say Death Stranding 2. Dude, the graphics, dude, I can't like. I don't know, man. Like Kojima works absolute
I
magic
mean, yeah, definitely,
with the PS5. It's amazing. It
definitely
looks incredible.
walking around or riding around and looking at the the surroundings, the environments, the sky, specifically when you're looking at the night sky in a certain desert area. It's incredible looking, man. Yeah, it's just like, damn, somebody went above and beyond there. Um,
Oh, yeah,
the
the game looks incredible. The gameplay is also a lot more fun now too.
Yeah,
And also
yeah.
still cartoony because you'd basically have to carry like multiple guns, so you're just piled up with a bunch of boxes. It's all your ammo, but it's just actual guns that you just like, all right, whatever. Get the
The
other one.
other
It's so
the other
stupid. I
game that
love
we
it.
both, I'm pretty sure we both spent some time with this one too, was Silent Hill F. Um,
Yes.
Now that was another game, and if I remember correctly, that was Game of the Year contender too, right? Was it on there?
Um, voice actor for sure. It
Okay.
was for best voice acting, which deserved.
Yeah,
Def, yeah,
yeah, yeah.
great performance, excellent performance. I personally really like this game. I know a lot of people really don't, and I get it, but at the same time, I will hardcore defend this game in a lot of regards. The gameplay loop is actually very fun. The I didn't mind the combat, especially because if you actually understand where combat is necessary and where it's not that bad. Okay,
I thought it
like
was
if
pretty
anything,
good.
I thought it was great. Like music's incredible too. Like the story was the story was great. I loved like everything about it, like the artwork, like the I don't know, man. Like this was
There
just
was
like it felt great. It was a fun time. I don't know what to tell you.
there was only one scene in the game that made me laugh out loud, and I was like, "Come on, I see what you did here." And it's not really a spoiler because yeah, you're not really. But there's an instance where you're walking through a bunch of dolls, and you're looking at the dolls, and one of the they're all wearing skirts, by the way. But one of the artists went and over detailed one, and when you look away and you look back, it changes positions and it put itself in one shady position where you're like, I see what you did there. And some cheeks were saw. But that was the only part of the game where I'm like, all right, that's enough. Um, but no, it was a
For
great
me,
game.
I'm like the red and white capsules and the timing of a certain drug,
Oh,
pharmaceutical drug.
uh-huh.
That timing was absolutely perfect. It was incredible.
Um,
Uh, no,
but
yeah,
but yeah, no, we both spent some time with that one. That was pretty good. But yeah, man, 2025 was a banger game, dude. It's just
I
crazy.
also the Metal Gear Solid Delta remake,
Delta,
the
I
Metal Gear
didn't
Solid 3
spend
remake.
any time with. I know you did, but yeah, go ahead.
I loved it. It was great. It's basically just the original game, but like nice and pretty with the better controls. It's incredible. Yeah, no, it made me actually like really appreciate like CQC. I finally actually understood the gameplay like feel of like how you're actually supposed to play it properly. Because the other two times I played through it, I was just kind of like fidgeting my way through the boss fights to like figure out how to win. This time I intentionally tried to absorb as much of the boss fights as I could and really learn them, and they were, yeah, God, great. It was a fun time. Um, yeah, no, they basically changed very little from the original game. Really, it was like in terms of like they changed the graphics and the controls a little bit and maybe updated the AI. Not even I don't even think they really updated the AI at all. I could be wrong, but more or less it was just all the old coding basically ported into Unreal Engine 5 and then you know tighten things up here. I think they added some animations in from the Phantom Pain and I think could be wrong. Don't quote me on that. It's a
Yeah.
solid remake. I am not mad that I spent $70 on it. If anything, also got a cool shirt and a hat out of it that I'm not wearing. But uh, it was a fun time. I kind of want to go through it again. My stepbrother currently has my copy, so I'll have to get that back from him at some point. But I do want to go through it again, maybe like in a year's time or whatever, just to play through it because it's the best James Bond film you can play through. It's great.
Oh yeah. The other game, I don't remember if you said you played this one or not, but the other game that I spent some time with, and it was the one of the last games of 2025 that I had played, um, was Hollow Knight Silksong. Good game. Definitely deserves to be in that game of the year category. Um, did a little bit more from the original one. The main character is very likable. The story is very likable. Um, wasn't a wasn't a perfect 10. It was a game. It did its thing. Really kind of difficult, but not too unforgiving. Um, but yeah, that one's still fresh, so no spoilers on that one. But yeah, no, gameplay wise, excellent. Story wise, yeah, okay. Music wise, it's great though, and then animation and all that stuff was excellent. But yeah, nothing. Definitely deserved its title or its spot at third on the Game Awards roster. Because I know it was Clerics,
Yeah,
Cure, and then Death Stranding, and it's Silk Song, and yeah,
I'm not mad at that. And like, I don't mean to be like rude at all with Hollow Knight or Silk Song because I okay, so I haven't played Silk Song, so let me just point this out. I want to say that real quick. I have almost maybe finished the first Hollow Knight. I still need to get through it. Sorry,
nice.
I got lost in at some point, but I enjoyed the hell out of it. I really dig what the game has to offer in terms of like its idea. The fact that it was only made by a handful of people, absolutely insane.
Oh
Can't
yeah,
fault them enough for that. Absolutely. I like my Metroidvanias, but I also love my like crazy ass cinematic storytelling with like intricate combat, a lot of simulation stuff. There's just a lot going on with this training too. Like, what do you want me to say?
yeah, no, for sure.
The
Um,
the reason why Expedition 33 is so phenomenal is because it punches well above its weight for the amount of people it had to
oh
work
yeah,
on it. That's
oh
what
yeah,
so like they really were like, all right, we're basically going for something that basically presents itself as straight up AAA like RPG stuff that is like, oh, you remember those Final Fantasy games? Yeah, we're doing that but modern. And it was like only made by hand, like less than 40 people. So
mm-hmm.
that is the reason why it's like, okay, sorry Kojima, I love Death Stranding too, but this is very special. Okay.
Yep. Sandfall definitely told Ubisoft to suck it. Um, but yeah,
Right.
the
Let's see.
but
I
I mean,
also played through. Oh, sorry, what were you saying?
no, go ahead, go ahead.
So I also played through finally. Actually, I do want to talk about Elden Ring, Night Ring a little bit, just so I can stop talking about it at some point. But Shin Megami Tensei 5 Vengeance. Um, this game makes me sad. I I
For
want to
sure,
love
you're
it,
going without asking
really I do, but I think
about
that
skipping
the
school, dude.
drama of being an SMT fan really drained me of all my enthusiasm for
You
this
hear me?
game, despite the fact that I think a lot
You're
of
in
the
high school.
unique ideas for SMT5 they're really good,
You're in high
but
school.
the original release felt a little too much like a sort of continuation of SMT3, but like not in a maybe I guess maybe like kind of in a satisfying way, but I just didn't. I don't know. No, it just kind of felt like a what if scenario after SMT3, which is fine, but I just don't think it really did too much, especially with the endings. They kind of just felt really like lackluster. There's just some stuff that really felt like it felt a little too bare bones. And then with Vengeance coming out, I feel like instead of like maybe like filling in where they had left off, they basically made new scenarios and just ran with a lot of the ideas they maybe originally wanted to do back then in the new canon of Vengeance uh, side of the game, because it's basically splits off from the canon of Creation, which has the original four endings of the game, and then you have the canon of Vengeance, where it's the other two endings for the new version of it. It feels weird, and I think the stuff they added in Vengeance is cool, but it's also just I feel like I appreciate it because I played through that original version of SMT5 rather than like it like was a cohesive experience by itself. It's really strange. But then again, this is also one of those things where the Atlas re-release thing kind of just bit itself in its ass a little too much. I think people will kind of freak out with like the Persona 3 Reload thing. That's not even where I kind of draw the line of the whole like Persona re-release kind of fiasco. SMT5 Vengeance really just kind of felt like very unfinished first game, and then a re-release that didn't really address the unfinishedness, but then made a Final Fantasy remake version of itself. But if you didn't like the first version that much, then there's no real reason to do the Final Fantasy remake kind of situation. You know what I mean?
Hmm. Yeah. Oh, sorry, my mic got stuck.
All
Yeah,
good,
no,
dog.
I
No
got
worries.
you. Um,
It's
but
just, yeah. I didn't. It was fine. I liked a lot of the lore they added. I think pound for pound it was good. My main issue is that I think like the years of like waiting for SMT5, and then when it came out it was kind of disappointing, and then we had to wait for a re-release that kind of like changed up the core identity of it to be like the Atlas re-release thing that I more or less actually think is the main cause of Atlas re-release fatigue rather than any Persona game that came out recently. Just
I
saying.
feel, yeah, I feel like they re-released it too frequently. I mean,
And
Capcom
no,
does
and like
too,
I
but at least Capcom stuff is good.
yeah, well, yeah, more or less, and yeah, no, I agree with that. I think well, RPG fans are also like it's like greedy bastards. You get games that are 80 hours long and you only spend $60 on it, and like I don't know what to tell you. But that's a joke. But I will say like the re-releases made sense when it came to like well, let's run through 'em. Why not? The Persona 3 FES, which is the festival version that had the extra campaign and like some like bug fixes and I think extra demons added to the original playthrough of Persona 3. That that version I feel more or less is like it was kind of like the old version, or it was like the older like Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo edition,
Yeah.
essentially. Where it's like okay, we added more stuff, and like it was like if the main release was like $60 or $50, it was like 40 or something like that. So it was a little bit cheaper because they knew it's like okay, you already bought the previous game, so here's the base game along with a little the extra campaign. So it's like it's not as valuable as like when you bought it the thing new, but it's still whatever. So Persona 3, fine. Persona 2, Persona 4's re-release, the golden version on Vita, makes sense because it's a Vita version of a PS2 game. So it's like the port job makes sense, and adding stuff to the port gives it a little bit more value. Now re-releasing that version onto modern consoles makes a lot of sense because who the fuck has a Vita? Now the problem. Well, I say that as someone who has a Vita. Okay, I understand. I understand.
No, yeah, I
Okay,
know. Vita Island was very, very small.
Vita Island is very small. Unfortunately, I hate it here. But anyway, Persona 5 is where you kind of run in a little bit of trouble because like main version comes out, cool. I love it. Play through it, 115 hours or some 118. I don't know. I forgot. Um, fine. A couple years later, comes out, adds like a bunch of stuff. To be fair, the stuff they added was very much interwoven throughout the entire thing to actually make it more seamless. I will say, I don't know. This is a hot take. Fuck it. I like the vibe of base Persona 5 more than Royal. The Royal version, it kind of adds it, a, a layer of, I don't want to say silliness because actually the stuff they add is really dark, but it's just there's a certain vibe to it that's just like it kind of like disrupts the entire point of what their base Persona 5 was kind of about. To be fair, it adds to it in different ways where it shows the actually I don't know. I'd have to replay through. I don't want to replay through that. It's way too fucking long. Uh, I can see where like it counteracts the final boss in terms of certain ideology and like and mirrors it in a certain way. The problem is maybe it doesn't make it super apparent, or it doesn't make it like feel like super integrated in with the rest of the game, because the whole game has a vibe out of itself, but maybe that's also like I played the first version first, so I just noticed these things.
Gotcha.
But
Yeah.
yeah, and like the whole Atlas re-release thing is kind of biting him in the ass right now because Metaphor ReFantazio didn't sell that well because they were expecting to do the whole like Atlas fans were like, all right, we'll just buy the re-release whenever it comes out because Lord knows there'll be like DLC and shit for $10 cheaper.
Oh yeah.
Because for some people, I guess they're willing to wait like 4 years for a game. I'm like, all right, that's silly, but maybe I'm the douche here. But SMT 5 Vengeance was fine. It was good. It's just I think I wish they would have just let it cook a little bit more, or maybe like been more rambunctious about it the first time. But I'll cry about it later. Hopefully SMT 6, whenever they come out with that, is good. Maybe if they ever do like a SMT 1 remake, which would be crazy. I would love it though. But that's also like the hyper fan in me who wants like I want SMT 6 to succeed, but sometimes what like recently I feel like Atlas is kind of tripping over themselves. I don't know if it's like I can't imagine Sega is really reining reining the isn't really reining him in that hard, because like I mean more or less they kind of let like Sega Sammy more or less let Sega do whatever the heck they want in terms of like they don't care if a Sonic game fails. Like they're
Yeah.
like, okay, it's just marketing at this point. We'll sell merchandise, and like the game doesn't. Sonic Frontiers is one of the games that actually like made money for the franchise, and the first time in like over a decade. Okay, like they were like, oh wait, this game actually made us money. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So like, I can't imagine like Sega really doesn't like has a tight grip on like Atlas, but at the same time, I don't know. They also do a lot of spin-offs, which I know that's like outsourced to different studios and stuff, but it's also like I like I don't think there's any like Atlas game that's coming out this year. I could be wrong, but like there's like a Persona 4 remake and that's in the docket. That's pretty much the only thing that they have really like to kind of be like, hey, here's the next thing.
Yeah.
No SMT 6, no other weird wacky franchise, no Metaphor ReFantazio special edition or re-release edition. It's and that's weird because usually Atlas has like a pretty consistent release schedule. I think it was like it was consistent like 2 games a year they would either publish or make like for a while, and it slowed down like crazy for like recently. So I don't know what's going on, but whatever. Being an SMT fan right now kind of sucks.
Well, I've been informed that my headset is low battery, so probably should get this wrapped up. So we're gonna end it like we always do with the what we're playing right now. Um, so Nathan, what are you playing at the moment?
Star Ocean until the end of time. Yeah. And also a little bit Elden Ring Night Rain, which I've already said way too much about. I love the game. The DLC is fun. Um, to be fair, I solo everything, which honestly the DLC is really bad for that right now because the Demon in Pain and Demon in Agony is absolute bullshit if you're doing it by yourself. Um, but yeah, but now right now I'm mainly focusing on finishing up Star Ocean until the end of time because I really want to see where this story goes because I've gotten to the twist, and I don't know what everyone is complaining about in terms of why the twist doesn't make any sense. It does. You ever stopped like what when they were? I kind of picked up a little bit of. I knew the twist was coming, obviously,
It
because
made
like
yeah, it made perfect sense to the story.
the reason why the reason why into the reason why I'm playing this now is because obviously I finished Star Ocean 2 last year and I'm like, okay, I want to go to the third one. The reason I started picking it up recently is because Expedition 33, one of the twists in that game, I'm like, that's the Star Ocean 3 twist in Expedition 33. You know what I mean? Like the whole idea of like this world is not real.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Yeah, no, so I'm like, oh, that's the Star Ocean 3 twist. Curious now how it actually like in like, and everyone's like they love people love the twist as far as I can tell in Expedition 33. So I'm like, okay, how is it in Till the End of Time? I'm curious as to like the context in terms of like what was it good context. And for me, I'm like, as soon as they were like, oh, each of them has powers. She has the ability to alt, and he has the ability to delete. I'm like, we're using computer programs now, huh? Or like they're starting to use computer talk. I know it's alteration and destruction, but I'm like, and like alt and D, I'm like that's alt D. Is there gonna be someone who has control? And god damn it, Sophia is control, or actually it's connection. But I'm like, control. It's still the same goddamn. I don't care.
The thing
It's
the
the
thing
it's like they have the power of control. Alt delete these fuckers.
the thing with that
So
was
I
that
picked up on that before the twist actually came in. But yeah,
yeah, the thing with that is that the difference between Expedition 33 and then Star Ocean was that Star Ocean had a fan base already established in being that Square Enix, well, Squaresoft fans at the time. Um, so Squaresoft slash Enix, they had a steady fan base that we're expecting a little bit more from this one. So, and if anything, we know more. The Square Enix fans, very, very bad. Annoying fan base for sure. Um,
well, it's
the
originally an Enix franchise, so yeah.
yeah, Sandfall on the other hand, Sandfall had a new fan base coming in. Nobody knew what to expect from it, so it was a lot of RPG fans from
True.
various fan bases. Um, but yeah, that's the difference between the two. You had an already
You
established
know,
annoying fan base, and then a new fan base coming in.
well, yeah, no. So like, I want to understand like in terms of like, okay, what's the context in terms of like, does that mean the other games in the universe are also the same program, or is this like this is a parallel universe where the other games take place, but in this specific game, you're following computer programs in the canon real universe? That's what I want to know, and like, even if it's like, okay, that means the entire game that we play is essentially a video game that's in this in this fake universe as well. So like, okay, so so it's like we're now approaching these games with a layer of like, this is a game within a game. Hilarious.
Yeah, I think Star Ocean is more the same as it's
I feel like
Final
it's more
Fantasy.
sci-fi twist rather than like some kind of like emotional instability kind of SSRI.
It's more like Final Fantasy where it happens in multiple dimensions, and that's just like a Black Mirror type
Oh
thing.
yeah.
So yeah,
I mean, for fuck's sake, the first game literally had the like like I love the fan service in this game too. It's like they literally go back to the planet Styx, which was the time travel place that the guys in Star Ocean 1 went to. I'm like,
yeah.
oh shit, they're doing that. And then Roke is the planet I think that the survivors of like some colony or whatever in Star Ocean 3 land. I'm like, isn't that like Star Ocean 2's location? So it's like
Did,
they're referencing planets that are like from previous Star Ocean games, and even in future Star Ocean games with Star Ocean 4. But I feel like there's more of like a callback to previous games. But there's a lot of Star Ocean 1 references, and I'm like, oh, I get that because I
that's
played First Departure.
that's like Final Fantasy. The only thing that ties them all together is Gilgamesh. Gilgamesh often will find his way into different Final Fantasies, and then he references the other dimensions.
Yeah,
Specifically in Seven Rebirth, where he talks about where he's stuck in this one and he's trying to get out of this one. In eight,
I
it's
need to get back and
referenced.
fight 8.
Yeah, eight.
That is
It's
actually
he
pretty
makes
sick.
a eight. He makes a reference that he's not. Yeah, he's looking for. Yeah, he makes several references that he doesn't belong in these worlds, and he travels through them. So he's the only thing that binds them all together. Um, but yeah,
But I'm enjoying the hell out of Star Ocean till the end of time now. It took me about 15 hours for me to get in the. Well, I
it's
played it over a little bit and then I got kind of distracted from it because I got lost in a dungeon because of course I did.
uh,
But then I'm like, oh, I have a strategy guide. I can just bust that open real quick, and yeah, I did.
it's it's my favorite one for sure.
It's really good so far. For me, Divine Force is still like my favorite just because of like I maybe it's because like it hit me like a lot harder because I played Star Ocean 5 like years beforehand and that was ass. Sorry. I really did not. Star Ocean 5 is not good. Or at least it wasn't good when I played it. Maybe if I approach it from a more analytical view, maybe it's better, but from what I can tell from even people who are like want to give it a shot, it's not good. Uh, but Divine Force was fantastic. I will say
Catch.
overall, I can see why like people love 2 and I like 3 a lot. I want to get maybe more into like a little bit of the combat to see if like I can mix up combos and stuff like that. I mean, my strategy has been pretty simple so far, like, and it's gotten me decent amount of way through. But at the same time, I'm like, that's probably not going to serve me too well in the final fights. But we'll see.
You can mix your combos. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, like the cancel bonuses. I'm starting to realize, I'm like, oh yeah, that can pile on damage like crazy.
Yeah.
Okay,
Uh
cool.
huh.
And I guess Maria is a really good character for that too. So,
Yeah.
um, but no, I'm really enjoying the game, and I think the plot twist actually serves itself pretty well. It is crazy because like it makes total sense why people are like they don't really understand what like it makes it to me it makes sense from like okay it's like they're thinking like oh we're fighting 4D beings it's like yeah from their perspective they think that they're going to like some kind of hyper dimension when in actuality it's just like they're just going to dimension that's basically a parallel universe to theirs. They're just digital. It's
Yeah.
it's actually it's kind of neat in that regard.
They're going.
It's very I don't know. I like it.
Yeah.
It's a cool plot twist and also makes a lot more sense of like it's also it's cool because like the entire idea is that like their civilization basically they figured out a way to transcend their own universe by basically like putting symbols into their genes. I'm like, okay, interesting there. Because the entire magic system is just based off of symbols.
Uh
It,
huh.
it I don't know, it's a cool concept. I really like the twist and like I think maybe like the characters don't spend hours like wanting to kill themselves over the fact that their existence isn't real. That maybe like people are a little off put by. It's like I would be depressed. I would be I'd be basically all the characters in Expedition 33. But like maybe people are off put by that. But I'm like welcome to maybe like how they just think over there like well we don't care if like maybe because like they have the idea of I mean, like Lovecraft, there's the idea of like we're all a dream in a giant bird somewhere. Like the idea of this world is not real, and this is all an illusion or something like that. That is an idea that is not necessarily old. So like maybe like they were more used to it over there, whereas over here they're like, what is this? I don't know.
Yeah.
But I'm enjoying the hell out of it. I'm about 40 hours in now. I'm thinking maybe like there's maybe another 10 hours left. I'm hoping because I kind of want to finish that up so I get to Tales of Zillia
Yeah.
and finish that up as well, and then kind of just start moving through some RPGs. I feel like I've spent a little too much time on Elden Ring Night Rain. Tend to get a little bit of a rest.
Gotcha. Yeah.
What are you playing?
For me, I'm playing a couple of things right now. I am playing Final Fantasy 8 and 9 on my Switch 2. Um,
Nice.
just started Resident Evil 4 Remake on VR. Um, that's the one I'm primarily playing through. I'm about 2 hours into it right now. So good in VR. Um, especially with the best and all that. Definitely, that's an awesome game. Started playing Five Nights at Freddy's or Help Wanted on VR as well. That's a tough game to get to. It's a definitely a heart pounder for a kiddie type game. Um, but yeah, Final Fantasy IV Remake is kind of what I'm currently going through the most. In preparation for Final Fantasy IX, Resident Evil 9. Have 1 month left to do it. Um,
Nice.
so I will be skipping six. Obviously, don't need to play that. But yeah, that's pretty much it. About 10%, probably about like I said, about 2 hours in. Story's already picking up. It's got the goat in it, Leon. So
Hell yeah.
yeah, it's freaking awesome. And then yeah, Final Fantasy 8. Been playing through that. Love that game. Definitely underrated, underappreciated. But 7, and 9 are like my goats. 9 is just because it's old school style, but with a mixture of new. Um, incredible music, and it just plays so well on the Switch too. Um, I did get from the shop. I got the 7-8 combo. I bought that, and then I bought
Oh yeah.
the 9 uh port that came out for that. They happened to come in
Oh
the
yeah.
shop,
That's awesome.
so I paid about $60 for both of them, which is actually a pretty good deal.
That's
Um,
pretty good.
and yeah, that's what I've been playing. And I know the yearly annual gameplay for the Order 1886, now that we mentioned it, is coming up, and now I actually have the itch to go back and play it. So probably going to be doing that soon. Um, thinking I might stream that like I always do. That's my yearly stream. Stream the Order, get some love out there for it. Maybe we
Oh yeah.
could do it. Maybe we could do a play along on that one. Um, but yeah, that's pretty much it for me. Just those games and just chugging on through them and starting
Oh yeah.
2026 off the right way, waiting for that RE9 to come out.
I'm actually hoping I can get through a little bit more of Xenoblade X too, because I got that for the Switch when the port came out, and Xenoblade Chronicles X was like one of those games I always wanted to play through because it's like okay, giant open world RPG where you can eventually control a giant mech.
Yeah,
Sold.
yeah.
But unfortunately, it was on the Wii U, so I'm like, well, fuck, never playing that. And then they made a version for it on the Switch. I'm picking that up. Thank you very much.
Oh yeah. The
So yeah,
if it wasn't for Xenoblade's combat, I'd be all into it. I don't like that battle system.
it is tricky to get used to. It's very much like I don't know. Is this like MMORPG kind of combat? Because like I get it. It's kind of it feels like
It
it's
just
a
kind of
weird auto battler that still that has like special abilities you can pop
yeah.
off. It's like
It
yeah, it's
just
I don't know. It is weird. I understand that. When I get into the groove of it, it is fun. It's just it takes me a little bit to adjust to like, oh, you kind of just like activate combat and they just start like kind of swinging whenever they finish the animation and like you kind of move around to try to kind of try to avoid hits. I think
yeah. It just
a
feels like a chore sometimes. Kind of like Final Fantasy
little
13's
bit of
battle
a
system did.
yeah, that's fair. And it's a certain kind of vibe, but like the cool thing about it is that it's a giant ass open world. And like the map is absolutely huge. And like it's like I know there's a bunch to explore there and like, and eventually again, giant mech. I'm looking very much looking forward to that. So I'm looking forward to get like diving into it more. It's just I need to find my Switch. I'll find it at some point. But it's one of those things I kind of like just pick up and put down for like every like 20 minutes at a time or something like that. It's cool. Then also I still want to get through the Bleach Rebirth of Souls game. It's fun. It's just I want to just get through it for the sake of I'm a Bleach fan, so whatever.
Oh yeah. Well, I
Yeah.
think I think that's gonna do it for me, guys. My headset is beeping, which means it's probably got about a minute left in it. So yeah, that's our episode. This one, the first episode of 2026. So do leave the loves, do leave the likes in the comments. We appreciate it, guys. As always, I am the Fat Man here at the Fat Man Gaming. Down below is my co-host Nathan. And yeah, we will catch you guys on the next episode. Hopefully this one doesn't get deleted. So just remember, don't make fun of Potato Head. Um, and then yeah, we'll see you guys on the next one. This is us saying goodbye. Nathan, sign us out.
Have a good night. Get home safe.
We'll see you guys on the next one. I know my camera's on.